We all understand the type of climate that we're dealing with. We're dealing with multiple offer situations.
I'd love to know sort of what's your why? What makes you tick? Why are you so successful?
Have a dialogue with your lawyer. Have a dialogue with your agent.
Both sort of passionate about sort of what we do.
Again, vet your agent to make sure that they're experienced and they're local. I like that idea.
No excuse to miss it on Saturdays from 8 to 9.
That's right.
WBZ.
And now, the show that gives you the latest and most relevant housing market news. Real Estate Radio Boston with financial expert Rick Shearer and legal professional Ali Alavi.
Erica Wallace, Wallace Consulting Group. What's going on?
This app is called Manila, and Manilla, like the folder. It allows you to manage all of your bills, loyalty programs, magazine subscriptions, basically anything you need to pay or be aware of its expiration date in one central place. And it helps you with alerts, tell you when things are due, how much of a balance is remaining on all of your outstanding bills, and it keeps you on track and reduces all the paper clutter because everything comes into one account. And they give you unlimited storage, so all of the e-bills and any receipts and things associated with it stay under your account.
Wow. So my Netflix account, along with my Groupon account, so on and so forth, all of those are essentially under the same umbrella.
Exactly. Utility bills, your cell phone bill, your Netflix account.
This works with another great app that I use daily. It's a budgeting app, Mint.com.
Mint, MINT.com.
MINT, yeah. So Mint.com will manage all of your accounts as a bigger overview, more of the forecasting and the budgeting for the long term. And this really helps you stay on point with your day in, day out bill. So if you were buying a property, and like you just mentioned with the Macy's bill, that would not have happened if you're using this app that keeps you on track and makes sure you don't miss any late fees.
Well, I mean, one of the things I really like about this is the fact, I know I had Netflix, and I had it for a while, and I wasn't really using it. So I like the fact that this app reminds me of the fact that how much am I paying, and the fact that I'm not using it, so I can get rid of it if I'm not using it, right?
Yeah, it's really eye-opening because when you log in, you see all of the accounts at once that you pay for, and it quickly helped me eliminate a few things. I was setting it up last night, and I was like, I didn't even realize I was still paying for that.
Nice.
Make sure you list that property at what you think it will sell at. So make sure you price in those things that are wrong with the roof. If it has septic issues, make sure you price those things in. So don't just list it at what it would normally list for.
Right.
If it were a normal condition, you have to factor in those repairs. You should probably bring in a contractor, talk to you guys about somebody that you trust, to bring in a contractor, and give you an accurate estimate of repairs and list the property accordingly. As the listing agent, you want to make sure you have your ducks in a row.
Right.
The last thing that you want to run into is a situation where you have the bank come in after you've started the short sale. They do a value. And you say, well, listen, there's all this stuff wrong with the property. All of us know, banks don't care about what you say over the phone. They don't care about emails. They want to see something from a licensed professional, somebody putting their name and their license on the line saying, this is wrong with the property. That they'll value. But if you're just calling them and saying, hey, listen, there's something wrong with the roof, unless you have an estimate of repairs from a contractor, it's not going to get you anywhere.
Right, process. But there's other tools to be able to avoid foreclosures. Tell us a little bit about those.
Sure. There are modifications. Modification is an adjustment to the original terms of your mortgage. Largely, what happens in that situation is the lender looks to lower your monthly payment by extending out the term of your mortgage. So you'll see a lot of modifications. Instead of having a 30-year mortgage, you'll have a 40-year mortgage, which obviously drops your payment on a monthly basis and makes the property more affordable. Deed in lieu is when you sign the deed back to the bank. You essentially say, listen, I'm not going to be able to afford the property. I would rather avoid foreclosure. I don't want to go through that process. So I'm going to sign the property back to you. You are then going to assume ownership of the property, and I'm going to walk away. Typically, sellers can get some sort of payment for it. It's called a cash for keys sort of transaction, where they get somewhere between $1,500 and $3,000.
The fact that anybody can sort of be a real estate agent is kind of a little scary to me. I mean, to make sure that they kind of go through you guys have courses.
Basically, we have a lot of benefits of membership. Increased educational courses is one of them. We have offer designations in various specialties, things like loss mitigation, which you've just had on the show, and other things, buyer designations, seller designations. So we have classes available that allow agents to have training in those specialized fields. To put it in perspective, there are about 60,000 licensed real estate agents in the state, whereas 20,000 are members of the Realtor Association.
Wait a minute. There's
Oh, wow.
60,000 real estate agents in the state of Massachusetts?
Licensees.
Licensees, and 20 of them are only 20,000 is realtors.
20,000 have taken the additional step to become a member of the Realtor Association, to abide by that code of ethics, and to take the advanced training and opportunities available to them to make them a better practitioner for customers and clients out
So
there.
the advice that you have is make sure that the agent that's going to be representing you is in fact a realtor.
That's certainly one thing and an important step in the process. Obviously, other things to ask about their local experience, their expertise in your local market, which, as you know, markets vary considerably from one city and one town to another.
Absolutely.
So that's certainly another question. Asking for referrals from past customers and past clients is a huge thing to do as well. And additionally, you really want to know how they communicate. What's one of the biggest things we found out from clients is the importance of communication from their realtor to them as a client. So asking how and when and how they'll be communicating. One of the interesting things in the market right now is, and I've said it's kind of like speed dating. The market is really active, really rapid,
Right.
and you need to have quick, fast communication with your realtor and understand what's going on with your home, with offers that may be coming in, and how to deal and how to best negotiate those. Yeah, the market in and around Boston and Greater Boston is best sort of deemed as hyperactive right now.
and that's your wheelhouse.
That is our wheelhouse. Yes,
Good.
absolutely.
Good.
So what you're seeing is an extremely limited supply of inventory out there. Price appreciation that's accelerating double digits this year and high single digits from last year. So you're seeing prices really accelerate rapidly and a very limited amount of choice for buyers out there.
Things I love about this thing is, first of all, no one is paid in your charity. There's zero salaries, correct?
That is correct.
100% of any donations goes back to the veterans.
Directly back to the veterans.
You guys don't even get paid for gas.
No.
Which is a huge expense.
When I wrote the bylaws and everything, that was in there. Nobody gets paid. If you want to come to work with us, you have to understand you're not going to be paid.
And everybody thought you were crazy.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. But, I mean, if you're passionate about something, that's the best way to go.
We provide lunches for veterans hospitals and clinics around the area inside 128, Lowell, Bedford. So we go feed kind of like the shut-in veterans that don't get much company.
Right.
We do it on a monthly basis. We feed sometimes 100 veterans a month. You can join our organization. So we have about 100 members, men and women, veterans and non-veterans. You need not be a veteran to join our organization.
Oh, good.
All you have to do is have the desire to give back to veterans. Some of the most neediest veterans. They're the homeless, the people that are shut in the hospitals.
Right.
You go to a VA hospital and every time you turn around, you see somebody else that needs something. We've distributed a couple hundred pairs of brand new shoes that New Balance was kind enough to donate to us. I'm constantly collecting clothes. There's probably 15 bags in my garage right now.
Right.
Used clothing, used sneakers, men's clothing, women's clothing. There are women at the shelter in town. Those women have children. Children's clothes are great. They never turn us away.
You don't have the clothes to give. Money is imperative to you guys.
It takes money to make this whole thing work. It really does.
And no donation is too small.